What's up, awesome YouTubers? We're 1988 or Justin back here to do another video for you guys. And on the phone with me, I have
Doug or Douglander.
So, what up, Doug?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. We're going to talk about my top 10 underrated slasher films. Now, this was very hard, and they are in no order. So, I'm just going to go through these. I'll let you guys know about them real quick. Doug's going to talk about them as well. And we are going to get started. So, the first one we're going to talk about is One Dark Night. And, oh, I love this movie. It has Meg Tilly in it. I believe it came out in 1981. I could be wrong. Oh, 1982. It is actually directed by the director who did Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. There's a little trivia for you guys, or a little fact. But, yeah, One Dark Night, it takes place in a very creepy environment. I'm going to forget the word, so can you tell him, Doug? I'm bad with words, yeah.
It's a mausoleum, mortuary type setting.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, but it is a very creepy atmosphere. I was watching this the other night, and I was very, very creeped out by this movie. Not really creeped out, but just creeped out, because I watched it in the dark last week. It's very eerie for a slasher film, and very underrated. Silly, but fun, but eerie at the same time. So, do you want to talk about this one?
I've seen it, but it's been a while. I just remember there was a couple scenes where, like, they're running through the morgue or the mausoleum, and, like, all these, like, skeleton, like, dead or, like, chasing them down the hallways and stuff. And I always remember that kind of being really creepy. And obviously Meg Tilly, I like her. She's Jennifer Tilly's sister, and Meg was also in Psycho 2.
Oh, yes. So, and I think this was before Psycho 2. I could be wrong, but I think it was.
I think it was.
So, but yeah, Meg Tilly's awesome. You know, I miss her as an actress. So if she ever goes to a convention, I think I'm going to bring this one up to her. So, love it. So the next one is The House on Sorority Row. Do you want to talk about this one first?
Yeah.
Okay.
The House on Sorority Row, it's basically what it sounds like. It's set in a sorority row. It's in a sorority house, and you have all these different types of characters. You obviously have the preppy, you have kind of the nerdy girl, you have kind of the nice, repressed, virgin-ish girl, and the lady that runs the house is a mean old lady. She isn't likable at all. She's very strict towards the girls. She doesn't allow a lot of things. So the girls basically plot out to scare her, which the scare goes wrong, and you know how that obviously goes. And one of each girls starts to get picked up one by one.
Yep.
Overall, I like this movie. The only my really biggest flaw with this movie is the ending. I think it's kind of abrupt. I think there should have been a little bit more done with the ending. But that's just me. Overall, I really like this one, but I do like the remake better, and I know people are going to hate me for that, but I'm just being honest.
Oh, it's all good, because I like the remake as well. The House on Sorority Row, for me, is my favorite out of the two. One, I love this cover. It has, like, the purple background. I just have to point that out real quick. Yeah, I love this slasher film. It's one of my favorites. The first time I saw it, I loved it then, and I still love it now. And very, very, well, not very underrated, but it is underrated for a slasher film, and I highly recommend anybody to pick this up, because it definitely deserves more attention. I think so.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a really cool death with the toilet. That's all I'm going to say. I thought that was really fun. But I have to agree, the ending is kind of an ending that doesn't fit well. I think they, could have had a better ending. But they do talk about real quick, they do talk about an ending to this film that they had, but, they decided to go with the ending that you see in the theatrical release, or on the movie. So,
Yeah.
But The House on Sorority Row, definitely highly recommended to anybody. So, the next one is the remake, Sorority Row. I think this is very underrated. So, you want to talk about this one first? I know you like this one better.
Yeah. Again, the same premise. It's fast-paced. The storyline is a little differently in this one. The house mother isn't the main focus point, sort of like the original one was. The story kind of revolves around it that way. This way, there is an event that happens with one of their sisters, and basically a prank goes horribly wrong. The girls don't know basically what to do, so they think of the best thing and just ditching the body. And as we know, 1 year later, things start to get crappy for the girls on the house on Sorority Row. This movie has a really good cast of up-and-coming actresses. I love the main girl in the movie, the girl with kind of the raspy, horse-like voice. I know you love the blonde biatch, that girl. I'm sure you can talk more about her. Carrie Fisher with a shotgun in a kitchen blowing holes through the walls. What else can you ask more from this movie? It's a fun slasher.
I think if anybody should see this movie, if they want, it's for Carrie Fisher with a shotgun. That's just what I'm thinking. That's what I think. So, but yeah, Sorority Row. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite remakes. It's my number 3 in my top 10 favorite remakes. It's just so much fun. It's goofy, it's silly, but there are some serious moments to it, but very fun. And the music, I have to say, I love the music. I have the soundtrack. So, I'm gonna just say it right now. I love it. Yeah, I love the so-called biatch in this movie. Leah Pipes. She is just awesome, in my opinion. I love her one-liners. I love what she says. I know some people are probably going to disagree with me with this, but I absolutely love her. She gets, like, bashed in the head, you know, her nose bleeding. She just goes through a lot in this movie. And she gets called names, so, but I guess that goes under the title of a bitchy character, so. But, I love it, so definitely a fun one. The next one is Curtains, and this is a really cool one. I love this. It's about, and I could be, telling the plot too, yeah, but I'm bad with, plot lines. It's basically about 6 actresses going out to audition for this role. I don't know the name of the movie but they go out. It's a typical slasher. They start getting killed off. You have a creepy old woman mask in this. But I love it. It's very underrated. Now, this is a release I got at Scarefest. It's not officially out on DVD by itself. You can get it in a 4-pack, but it doesn't have the best quality, and it totally deserves its own release. But I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to agree with you on this one. Very underrated. The killer's wardrobe in this film is very creepy. The old lady mask with the sickle, and the reoccurring creepy little baby doll.
Oh, I know. It definitely, and you see the baby doll on the cover, and I love this artwork. I just have to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I totally think this definitely deserves its own release in the future.
Oh, yeah.
So, but anything else you want to say about this one?
No, other than I really like that one.
Okay, the next one is Deadly Blessing. This is one. I know, you definitely need to see it. We're gonna have to see it. Hang out and chill, and this is definitely one I'm gonna have to let you watch.
Definitely.
Deadly Blessing. It does not have a Region 1 release. You can get it in Region 4 and 2, I believe. This is Region 4. Or if you go to like a convention, if they have not official copies of horror films that they have there, then I highly recommend picking it up. It has Sharon Stone in her first speaking role. She's beautiful in this movie. This is actually one of my favorites from her. And if I ever meet her, this is going to be the DVD she's going to sign. I don't care if she denies it. She's on the cover. So, but I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Wes Craven films. I loved it since the first time I saw it. And I could pop it in once in a while and definitely have a fun time watching it. So, and it's a slasher that it's more thriller slasher horror movie based, but it definitely has a slasher feel to it. So the next one is Happy Birthday to Me. You want to talk about this one first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like this one a lot. I know you probably like it more than I do because you have a little tradition you do every year with it. Overall, I really like this one. It had a very early twist ending that a lot of people were probably not used to that day and age. Nowadays, this ending is completely played out, and they do it too many times probably than they should. But for an early 80s slasher and having this twist ending happen, it probably was pretty big when it happened, and a lot of people were probably like, oh, I didn't see that coming. It's a little slower than most slashers, in my opinion. It's kind of takes its time, doesn't, shoot out the kills, bang, bang, bang right away. It definitely has a storyline and some pacing to go with, but other than that, I really like it.
Oh, well, I love this movie. By the way, I want to point out real quick, and I'm going to give you a shout out, even though you're on the phone. I'm holding the DVD that you actually sent me 1 year. So thank you. But yeah, I love this movie. I watch it every year on my birthday, or I try. But I think it's very underrated, and I have to say the twist is awesome, in my opinion. I was shocked when I saw this twist. Not gonna say what if you haven't seen it, but I highly recommend Happy Birthday to Me. Love it. And Melissa Sue Anderson freaking rocks in this movie. You know what? She's definitely, I like her better in this than Little House on the Prairie. If I ever meet her, that's what I'm going to get her to autograph. Happy Birthday to Me. But the next one is The Initiation. First of all, I have to say this is a double feature with Mountaintop Motel Massacre. I believe you haven't seen this one yet.
No, I haven't seen this one.
Okay, but The Initiation takes place basically around like a sorority in the beginning. You have the lead character. She was in The Fly too. I don't know her name in real life. But I love this movie. I think it's an underrated slasher. A lot of people don't know about it. They might have seen this cover art, but I don't think a lot of people know about it. It definitely deserves more praise because this has a very cool twist at the end that I was totally shocked by. Not going to say what it is yet, but because I don't want to spoil it. But I love this movie, and definitely deserves more praise. So, The Initiation, and I love the fact it takes place in a mall. So,
oh yeah.
The next one is Terror Train. You can talk about this one first, since you've seen this one.
It stars my favorite actress and my woman, Jamie Lee Curtis. Overall, I really like this one a lot. They have sort of recently remade this movie, which I heard it wasn't that good. It's entitled Train. It was originally supposed to be called Terror Train, but they changed it to just Train. If you're going to watch this movie, you need to watch the original one, of course. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis and has a very young David Copperfield in the movie. Yes, the magician.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, overall, I really like this one. Your basic setup and premise, the prank goes terribly wrong. I think it's a year later, or maybe a couple months later, I can't really remember. Horrible things start to happen, and as these students are taking a trip on a train, they start to get picked off one by one. I think the old man and the conductor mask are the two creepiest masks in the whole movie. There's a couple scenes where you see the killer down like the long corridor, and he's wearing the old creepy man mask coming towards the screen, and he's holding the axe. And I've always thought that was kind of creepy. So yeah, definitely see this one.
This is an awesome slasher film. Jamie Lee Curtis rocks in it. And it's eerie. It's a kind of a creepy slasher film, especially with the killer. And like you said, the masks are very creepy, most of them. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, awesome in this movie. I think Prom Night and The Fog and Halloween are definitely probably some of her most well-known horror movies. But Terror Train and another one called Road Games, I think, are just some of her underrated ones. But Terror Train, love that it takes place on a train. It's a lot of fun, and it's one I highly recommend. So, but that is Terror Train. The next one is Urban Legend. And you want to talk about this one first?
Yeah, it's from Jamie Blanks. I really enjoy director Jamie Blanks' films, at least the ones I've seen. He's got a very good eye for the slasher. Urban Legend, I think, is a little underrated, especially from the 90s era, because you had things like I Know What You Love Summer, and obviously the Scream trilogy covering up any hope for these other little slashers that were popping up around the same time. It has a really good cast, a lot of well-known names and faces, so once you watch this movie, you'll start seeing people. It has a small character cameo, I guess, by our girl Danielle Harris, which we both like.
Oh, yes.
And it stars the wonderful Rebecca Gayheart, and I absolutely thought this movie was fun. It's got a real cool twist ending, and I like the look of the killer. I like the double-headed axe, plus it's got Tara Reid in it, and I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Tara Reid.
So, yeah, you can't go wrong. Oh, and next time, get away from the volcano before it erupts. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is really, really fun. It is definitely underrated in the 90s compared to, like, Scream, and I Know He Did Last Summer. And Jamie Blanks rocks as a director. Love the twist. Very cool twist. In my opinion, when I first saw it, it shocked me. It has a really fun cast that you've seen before. Some well-known faces, some not so well-known faces, and some people you see in the future, in future films, and music. But, yeah, I mean, you have Tara Reid in this movie, and I love her performance. I think she's like one of the... I wouldn't say one of the best characters, but no, actually, I'm going to say, yeah, she's one of the best characters, because I just think she's a really fun character in this movie. And, yeah, and, you got a really cool cast, so... But, Urban Legend, definitely one I highly recommend. And the last one is another Jamie Blanks slasher film, and it is Valentine. So, Valentine is, of course, surrounds Valentine's. It has a little bit of a, beginning where you figure out what's going on. I don't really want to mention anything if you haven't seen it. Well, real quickly, I'll talk about it. It starts, opens at a Valentine's dance. I think it's 8th grade. There's this kid, I forgot his name in the movie. But
Jeremy Melton.
Jeremy Melton, yes. And he keeps getting denied by these girls. There's this one girl, Morgan is her name. Is that her name?
Who?
Morgan, the girl in the beginning, the one that, kisses him behind the bleachers.
Yeah, I think that's her name.
Well, things go wrong.
Jump Buffalo.
Things go wrong. He is accused of assaulting her or something like that, or attacking her. It goes...
Yeah, Jeremy attacked me. He attacked me.
I know.
Fun one.
It is really fun. It goes years later. The girls are older. You have David Boreanaz from Angel in this and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The girls start getting picked off one by one. People start dying. Typical 2090 slasher film, but really fun. And I love that it takes place on Valentine. It's really underrated. So.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Got some really good one-liners too. There's a scene between two of the girls, and both these women are very well fed, and this one girl can't let it go because she looks like a supermodel now, but I guess she still thinks she's fat. There's a scene between the two girls.
It's so wrong that we're laughing at this, but it's a fun scene.
Like, oh, I can't remember all the dialogue, but she gets into the main girl's face, and she's like, oh, but I'm just a fat girl. Well, you know what? You are... I don't know. And she storms off, all upset. And I'm just like, when you see her storming off, watch her curves. I mean, there's no fat girl there anymore. But I guess in her mind, she still thinks she's fat. Yeah, it's fun. And I love the mask.
I do too.
And if you notice, you were listening to the commentary, Jamie Blank talked about how Halloween is one of his favorite horror movies of all time. And he... kind of based some of the similarities off of Halloween, the blank stare, the blank face mask, kind of like just that plain Cupid stare. There's a couple scenes when the killer is walking down the hallway, and you kind of hear a slight Halloween homage-ish type music, especially at the beginning when he is chasing the opening kill girl down this long hallway. You hear a slow, sort of Halloween operatic type score going on at that point. It's just his little tweak at the Halloween film he did. So I appreciate that, and I think that's pretty cool.
I do too. And it's definitely one that people should check out. So that is Valentine. So we are going to end this. I don't know how long this video is, but you know, I don't care. We're talking about slashes. So yeah, I'm going to say go eat some Skittles. That's all I'm going to say tonight, and happy Friday the 13th, everybody. But I'm not going to say a word, because we're going to do a little question thing for you guys, and you guys have to answer down in the comment section. So I'm going to leave this with Doug. Doug, you talk about it real quick and then say the line.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to give you guys a line, one of my favorite personal favorite lines from a slasher that I like a lot. And you all basically just guess, tell Justin in the below in the comment section what I'm quoting from. And who knows, maybe me and Justin will get together and send the winner. Well, I guess there would be too many comments, so I guess that really wouldn't make any sense. But maybe in the end we might do something later on down the road. But another contest or something. How about that?
Yeah.
But the line is, hey, I have an idea. Let's do it on the bluff. On the bluff? Come on, that'd be fantastic. Wow. Alright, so you have to guess what line that movie is from. And just leave your comments down below. And everyone, have a great night. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. And I will talk to everyone soon.
Alright, I got an idea. If somebody guesses this, we'll somehow do, like, the skit. We'll spoof it.
Yeah.
So, okay. But I'm not going to say anything more. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Doug, for being a part of this. And you're awesome, just have to say. And I'm going to leave Doug's channel down below. Check out his channel, Douglander, if you haven't subscribed to him yet or have added him as a friend. And happy Friday the 13th, everybody.
Later, everybody.
Okay, bye, guys.